Hello all, welcome to today's webinar on how to tackle customer billing and self-service challenges for Microsoft CSP Partners. I'm Ranjini, part of marketing team at Cloud Asset, and I will be the moderator for the session. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our participants joining us from different parts of the world. Before we begin, we encourage you to actively participate by asking questions in the chat box, and our speaker will address them during the presentation. We also have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so stay tuned. So without further delay, let me introduce our speaker, Palaniyappan Venkatachalam, Senior Program Manager handling Microsoft CSP at Cloud Asset. Welcome, Palani.
Thank you, Ranjini. Hello, everyone. Glad to have you join our webinar today. We are going to be looking at what are the common customer billing and self-service issues that CSP partners face and what we have learned from our experience in this area. So that's what we are going to share here today. In the ever-evolving landscape of cloud computing, Microsoft CSP program has emerged as a catalyst for businesses seeking to harness the cloud, but it also comes with a few problems which we need to handle with automation tool. So Partner Center by itself, it provides you with various options to manage your business, but that always involves your own team to spend a lot of manual effort and help all the customers. So essentially, you will always need a tool which will help you to do your business. And in that tool, there are certain key areas and key features which you will always need for running your business successfully. We have tried to classify a few of those areas, and we will be seeing each of those areas one by one and our approach to how we can handle that. We hope that this webinar will be able to shed some light on these challenges and give you some actionable insights and strategies. Um, we work with a lot of CSP partners across the globe, and all of them have very different challenges, and we have had the opportunity to learn from all of it. So it's a pleasure that we have the opportunity to connect with the community and have a discussion about what we have learned and also hear your thoughts. So I'm going into the first area that we have here, which is customer onboarding. So for any business, bringing your customers on board is a very critical part. And even before you go into onboarding your first customer, you have to do a lot of planning ahead. And you need to have certain structures in place before you can get into that customer onboarding. In CSP business, the primary thing is what are you going to sell and how much are you going to charge for each of those, and how you will bill and get your payments and run your business. So that's what it essentially is. And to handle all of the pricing related operations, you will need a automated billing tool. That's a given. Pretty much to become a direct Microsoft partner, that is a mandatory requirement. You need to have an automated billing tool. But what will the tool do? What are the things you need in that tool? And many of our customers, we see they are not just only CSP resellers or Microsoft resellers. They have their data centers, they have V centers, they sell VM, they sell storage, they sell other services, they sell support. So how do you combine all of the services that you sell along with your CSP business and present one invoice to your customer? So you need a tool essentially, and the tool needs to have certain constructs. Uh, our flagship product is Hybr, and we are going to take Hybr as an example to explain how all of these operations can be done. So when it comes to pricing constructs, the first thing that I have here is called as a plan. A plan is something that you create first, and you are the CSP provider. So you will be having your CSP software, and it will have a rate card which you get from Partner Center, and you can put that rate card and sell uh, the products in that rate card to a particular customer. So that is a pricing plan. So a pricing plan has a rate card. For each of the CSP service types, there could be multiple rate cards, and so this will be one plan. And you might be having another data center, which or you could be selling some support, and for that you could be having a different set of rates. All of that will be another plan. So essentially, this will be like a set of prices and products that you're showing that will all come under a plan. The next construct is called as offer. Offer is something where multiple plans combined together, a CSP, a software plan, a cloud plan, your own service plan, all of that you want to sell to a particular company. Uh, in in case you are a corely a CSP business, a CSP company, you want to sell everything. So you bundle all of those together in an offer, and you give it to them. See, these are all the types of services that we sell, and you can purchase anything which is combined in this offer. So your the company structure that we have in Hybr, it is kind of something that will sync with the companies which you will be having in your partner center. So even when you come on board our software platform, you will be giving us consent to read the information from your partner center, and we will be syncing all of the companies in your partner center. We will be creating a default offer for that. We'll be creating a default pricing plan for that, and essentially all of the basic prices that are there in CSP, it will all flow through, and it will be like ready for use within a matter of hours actually. So that quick onboarding is something that is really great, and you should look for in a tool which you're going to be using. We have this construct called as Hybr company, which is uh, a mirror of a CSP company. And within a Hybr company, there is another level of breakdown where what we call as a subscription. This is very different from the CSP subscription where you purchase an offer and becomes a subscription. This is a billing subscription. Let's say that you have one particular customer who is a very large CSP operator, and for that particular customer they have many departments, and they want different invoices. Say even for a single CSP company you need to give some 10 different invoices. Then you can create 10 different Hybr subscriptions for that particular single company, and you can map your CSP offer purchases against each of those subscription, and you can uniquely bill each of these companies separately. So that level of abstraction and control your product should be giving you. We will be going a little bit more into the detail on how you can price, and what will your profits be, and what are the strategies, and what are the kind of situations you'll face in one of the later sections. So I'll cover that more in detail at a later point in time. I want to briefly touch upon the other areas which you need to consider when you're doing onboarding. Basically, what we are trying to do here by bringing in a tool which automates your load is to save effort for your employees, to minimize the overhead which you are having to do, so that you become a Microsoft partner and then you buy a tool which does most of the work which your team would have to do, and then onboard customers and see the margins. So that's the intent here. To be able to do that, your end customer should be able to give you all the rights which you need in the GDAP framework. So they need to agree to those reseller agreements. They have to give you the permissions to manage their subscriptions for your admin for the tool which you are using. So even that process, if your tool is automating it, that will be like really nice. So here I have an example where if you bring in your customers on board the Hybr, getting that approval from GDAP, you say Hybr sends an email to customers like this, which requests that we want to be your cloud solution partner, and you give us all these access. And there is a tenant experience where even when you're onboarding, you would have given them a portal and they will be able to log in. And in their login, they will be getting a notification saying that, hey, you need all of these access. If you give this access, the tool will be able to manage all of the requests for you. So that part is taken care of here. Next, you will need the Microsoft agreements too. Specifically, we don't want a lot of support tickets, so we want the customers to be able to do whatever operation they will be able to do by themselves. In CSP scenario, when they have to say create an Azure a reservation for themselves, or when they want to purchase a Azure savings plan for themselves, or they want to see their cost management view, all of that you need to be able to give them the access. For that, it's essential that they should have signed the Microsoft agreement uh, through you. So your tool should also be able to give you that option, so that they will be able to give you that agreement, and the tool which you are using will be able to manage that effectively. Also, every administrator and their organization, they are likely to have a very unique organization structure. We have so many customers across the globe, and we do not even have two people who run the CSP business in the same way. Everyone has their own unique structures. And what it entails is that your tool should be able to give them a sort of granular access to each of their personnel. There will be one person who will only need to look at the bills. There will be another person who might be like more like a technical support guy who might have to help with issues with deployments and provisioning and so on. You need to give them very specific feedback as to very specific access. So that we control through this module called as role-based access control. We have defined certain predefined roles in the system itself, where there's admin contributor, admin reader, and auditor, and so on. And you can add your own roles. And each of the pretty much every functionality in the tool, or every page that you can view, every control that you can see, all of that has this access control on top of it. So nobody will be able to do an unauthorized operation, and you should really have the access to be able to control that. So this really helps you to gives you a lot of flexibility in how you actually structure your organization. And finally, when it comes to self-service, so that is our goal, right? So we need to give them a portal which they will be able to use, your customers. And most of the things for which, if you are using a manual approach, they will raise tickets for it. They should be able to do it themselves. That is the goal. And also the tool should be able to provide you options to enable the Azure reservations and savings plan, and all the operations that they should be able to do on the Microsoft portal. You should be able to enable those options also from your tool itself. So these are the kind of things that these are the factors which I wanted to cover in the customer onboarding part. And then let me move on to the next section. So I was covering about touching upon self-service in the previous section, right? So in any CSP tool that you might want to use, what would be a standard all across this? You will have an administrator view, and you will have a tenant view, and of course the access will also be restricted. Your administrator will be able to see all of your customers, and then there will be like you will be able to go and do the certain operations for them, a certain set of operations for them. What would be really useful is if you can get the perspective of the customer itself. So we have a portal design where similar to how if you go to Facebook and view profile as yourself, you can switch your experience. We have a toggle right at the top where you can simply go and switch your view. So you just click this filter icon and you can switch to your tenant perspective, and you will see that what your customer will be seeing, you will be able to see. what is their current monthly cost, what is their trend, and what are all the subscriptions that they are having, what licenses they have, what is expiring, and all of that you will be able to see. So basically, the as a CSP direct partner, what you are going to sell is going to get covered in one of these items. Either it could be like a Azure reservation, or it could be a software, and it could be an online service. Online service mostly with NC in these days, but there are few people who also deal with some legacy products in the online services also, and SaaS and the other marketplace products. So these are going to be the broad categories of items which, if you are a CSP direct partner, you are going to be selling. And in this experience, when you switch as a end customer, you get different views for managing each of these categories of item. For example, if you select the online services page, you will be able to see all of the subscriptions that they have. You will be able to edit the renewals. You will be able to suspend it. You will be able to cancel it. Pretty much any operation that Partner Center allows to be done through an API, you will have a user interface which will allow your end customer to do it directly for all of your service types. So that way, pretty much all of these operations, it's all about documenting and educating. You can have your own docs portal or a help website, and you can have your series of videos. Um, Essentially, this product would be like white labeled. It wouldn't be like Hybr. It would be like your portal which you are giving to your customer. So you could have your. It's all about documenting things clearly in according to your language, according to your users' preferences on how they will want to use the system. And why you do that one-time job, any operation that Partner Center allows to be done through code, your tool should be able to do. That is where you will be able to save the cost in terms of manual effort. This is about updating a subscription. This is about managing a renewal. This is licenses, assigning a license to a specific user, seeing what licenses are assigned, see how many are yet to be assigned. So these are all various views which for each of those product categories, what are the things that you will be able to do. So what you're seeing here, this is the administrator view. Even if you log in as an admin, you can still drill down into a company and all the data which I was showing about what subscriptions they have, what licenses they have. Even from this path also you can see. But a lot of our customers find it really easy that they are able to simply log in as a customer and do all the operations or see how things work for them. So this kind of experience is very intuitive to understand their end customer's perspective. And end customer's perspective is something really unique, and it's very important that we understand that in this business. So I'm moving on to my next section, which is about billing and payment. Here the first all important factor, the rate cards. We said that rate card is something you need to do even when you plan ahead, and you have to have that all configured. We just want to list a few strategies which we have got here that will show you what we have learned from our experience, how people do that. Microsoft has ERP, which is the recommended price, and that itself for each of these product categories, it comes with a markup, as you will all be well aware. And the simplest mechanism to do is simply to sell at that ERP. You will get the profit, which is the margin which Microsoft gives, minus the cost which you spend for managing your system. So that's the ERP, and but that is something that most people don't use. What is couple of things are pretty common among our customers. One is a markup where you take the ERP and then you say you give me 5% on top of this. There are multiple ways in which our systems allow you to mark up your rate card. You can do it at a meter level. You can specify these items. For each of these items, I want to give a certain markup, and I want to change the price also. But more commonly, what people do is they choose a category. Like for all of NC, I want a 10% markup. and they configure it at that service level. So it's really important that your system really understands what are the type of products which you are selling through your Microsoft CSP program. So when the classification that we saw earlier, if your system recognizes the classification and it allows you to give your markups or discounts or pricing configurations at either the granular level or at abstract level, it's really useful, because then you will be having some very predictable profits. And you say that you sell $100,000 on licenses, you are always going to get like $120,000. So that's going to be your sort of equation. It helps you with your financial planning. So that is, but to add value for the or sell over the recommended price, they usually bundle it with some value added service. They say we provide you the technical support, or they sell some other services together. They give some value add. They say they will manage it for you, and all of those they give, and then they mark up the price. Another, actually, right now we are getting a lot of different customers who are also giving discounts. We see two different scenarios in which people are giving discounts. One is they have another business. They sell a service, or they say they have a data center, and they deal with their customers like, you purchase this particular service from me, I will be able to give you a discount on all of these products, which you can get below your market value, and they still make a profit because the discount they give is uh, not maybe half of the margin that they get from Microsoft, and they use that to attract their customers for their other businesses. And with the billing system that we have, what we say here is that in addition to the CSP, if you want to sell anything else, even if you want to sell a T-shirt, our system can support that. It's essentially, you have to add a meter, you have to add a price, and you have to add a quantity, and you need to bring in a mechanism where we know what got sold. So we have these custom collectors which can read from any system what got sold, and it can even be entered manually and uploaded as a data, and we will be able to build that, and we'll be able to combine all of that at a Hybr subscription level. So that's something that really works out well for many of our customers who have multiple businesses in addition to the CSP one. Custom price is something that I already covered. You can go to a meter and say that for a specific customer, for a specific product, you want a unique price. And also you can give items at say ERP, and you can add a one-time fee or a monthly fee. Every month you pay me $100 and I will sell you everything at a ERP. So that will be like for each of your customer it will be a fixed revenue. So these are some sort of pricing strategies that you can use. Also, when you choose a billing system, there are so many factors or so many things that you need to be able to configure that might not be all apparent at the first go, but you need to have the ability to have multiple currencies even for a single provider. Let's say you operate in Europe and you sell for 4 countries in that region. You need to be able to generate invoices in multiple currencies depending on the where the customer is using it, and you should be able to configure the exchange rates for each of the time period. It keeps changing. And then for all of the meters, you should be able to say that apply this meter only in this condition. And you might need to have some sort of a tiered pricing, and you might have to give a markup. You could choose to give a markup in say like a percentage, 10%, or you could choose to give markup like a value, $100. You could all of these things you can do. And as a promotion or for a refund, you might want to give user credits, and you might want to subtract that out of the invoice that they are getting. And sometimes Microsoft gives promotions, and there also there's a choice. You want to pass on the benefits of the promotion and charge your customer less, or you want to take the promotion and you want to increase your profit. Those sort of options. So there are literally 100 options when it comes to pricing, and no two customers choose the same set of options. Having these 100 options is very, very useful, and it will all be a part of a journey where you work with your provider of the tool, and they help you to configure all of that and arrive at the perfect system where you get all of your prices set in, where you put all of your configurations and generate your first invoice. Particularly when we have some people moving in from some other systems and they have all of this flexibility, stuff which their finance admins do in Excels. We in this day and age they still do it in Excels. We hear. So we see that when they come to our system and when they see that all of those pricing they are able to handle within the system itself, they are able to override all of the pricing, they are able to give a markup or a discount and all of that. It's really easy for them. So the onboarding process where they will work with the tool provider to figure out all the and cross out all the I's and T's, it takes a little time. But once they do that, the monthly invoicing every month, it's like a pretty autopilot mode. It goes to autopilot mode, man, where they don't have to really do anything. And what are your profits? What have you earned? So this is a question which we would hope that most people will clearly have an answer, and they do. It's not that they don't, but it's not something that they get very easily. And even in Hybr, we have a couple of views. The first view is what I'm showing here. Here we give a very simple big boxes. This is how much you got from your customer. This is how much you paid to Microsoft. This is what you have left for CSP. So this gives a very easy picture. What is the revenue, what they made, what is their profit. So this is a super simple view. And the simple view is very useful for customer because we list the products by revenue, and we also give the top customers by revenue also we are able to give. So all of that is very useful for the customer to see where they are. And then there's this whole other area where we go into a much more detailed reporting, which I'll come to later. And you need to be able to get the payment. So getting the payment is very important. So this is your sort of invoice page where you see for the current month what is the amount they have to pay. And what we have here is just a sample for a specific test customer. We want to have two payment gateways, PayPal and Revolut, and we have just these two payment gateways. Essentially, you can have n number of payment gateways or even a manual payment mode also. You need to have support for doing that. If you're having a automated payment gateway, you need to ensure that all of the traceability is there. You maintain the transaction records, you maintain that the payment came, all of that is available in your system for audit. And if you're able to having a manual mark as paid kind of mechanism, you need to make sure that your the right privileges are there. Only the people who are authorized to mark a bill as paid, they are able to do that. So those kind of options you will need to build into your system for accepting the payments. Next topic on the self-service aspect is the marketplace. We touched briefly on that when we are talking about even managing the items. But even before managing, they need to purchase things, right? And this is also a common operation where a lot of support tickets come for many of the CSP partners. So going into this topic, all of the listed type of products we have spoken about Azure reservation, NC and legacy services, software, marketplace SaaS, all of those products they will be able to buy from the marketplace view. We have like very effective filtering and categorization and a really quick loading view. It can either come as a tiles or a list, and they will be able to get into a pop-up where they can add the quantity, they can do the what is the duration, they can align the end dates for core terminology. This comes in particularly useful for the end customer because all of their subscriptions end on the same date and they will be able to manage their renewals and stuff more effectively. So this is a very useful feature that is there. And once they do a purchase, it needs to get deployed and it needs to become available for them. Even that operation needs to be automated by the tool. So they make a purchase and they deploy it and it goes. So that is how the flow should be. And how do you scale your operations effectively? That's the next topic. First of all, you need a tool which can scale and a tool which you can onboard quickly. And since we are all talking about cloud here, even the tool, it should reside on cloud, because that gives you all of the flexibility that you need. So you need a platform which uses all of the resources in cloud, so that you will be able to scale it irrespective of whether you're a partner who is handling a volume of 1 million records or uh, 10 million records. It shouldn't be a problem. Or as you grow, you should be able to scale your infrastructure of the tool also. So the SaaS platform that we have, it provides a couple of benefits. One is you can start experiencing it very quickly, like literally a matter of hours. We are not even talking about days here. Matter of hours, it will be able to connect to your partner center, gather all of the information that it will need, and it will be able to give you the prices and everything within a day. You will be able to see that, and it will be able to scale really quick also. You can at a moment's notice, you will be able to scale it up to any of the demands that you could be getting. And another topic that I didn't get an opportunity to talk about a lot is Microsoft is using all of the direct CSP partners so that they can scale their business. And if you are a direct CSP partner and you have a very large scale, you could already have split out into multiple resellers, or that could be one reason. Scale could be one reason. Another reason is it could be organization structure. You could have one central organization, and you could have like different teams managing the business in different geographies, or you could have different teams managing the different areas. Like one people could be selling the licenses, and another could be selling the cloud services, and you would want all of them to be able to have an ability to act as an administrator, and they should have their own views of what is their margin, what they sold, what profit they got, who are their customers, all of the options which an administrator will be able to do, a reseller should also be able to do for their customer. So that way we give a unique experience called as a reseller experience, which is like a hierarchy between a service provider and the end consumer. And this is a very effective way in which you can split all of your operations into multiple groups. And any business who is operating at a large scale, you will not be doing many of the work which you are doing manually, and you will also be integrating with a lot of other systems. For example, you could be using SAP as a ERP system. You could be using ConnectWise as a PSA automation. Your system, the tool which is calculating your cost and invoices, it should be able to speak with any other technical system. It's not really possible for you to do a lot of things at scale when you go into having a manual process for everything. So we have integrated with this. We have multiple integration. One key integration is with a tool called as Zapier. Zapier integrates with several other systems like ConnectWise and SAP and so on. So the cloud asset will show up as one of the integration if you use Zapier, and you can tie events in Hybr. Say invoices generated, you do this. You put all of the reports into this specific FTP, or you send it into this particular for SAP option, or you can even send it to ConnectWise or so on. So this is a one-shop stop for hundreds of integration. In addition to that, just our architecture, the way we have designed the solution, all of the operations which you can do from the browser, you can do from code. We have written it in that way. I'm showing you a sample of the list of APIs that we have for CSP specifically. So any operation that you will be able to do from a API or from the user interface, you will also be able to do from the API. So what this means is that any system, many of our customers have their own software tools which they use for invoicing and other purposes, and they read from our APIs. They will be able to read what is the daily trend. They will be able to read what is the invoice. They'll be able to get what is the status of the payment. All of that, any data that we have in our system, we expose it um, as a API. So this is something which is a very useful. And I told you that when we showed the margin, there was a much more detailed reporting. So That is something that I want to show you. Pretty much, since we had a lot of things to cover, I was using a lot of screenshot. But this one thing I want to show small demo, if you will. I'll have my colleague present his screen and share what that model is. Can you please share your screen, Yugan?
Hello, Palani.
Yes.
Before that, we do have 2 to 3 questions from our participants. Can I
Yes, sure,
question?
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. When you talk about roles, are you referring to roles given to the end customers or users within the CSP direct partner?
When I talk about roles for an administrator, I was talking about roles which are given to the members of the direct partners organization, who will be like a finance admin, or they will be like a technical support person and so on. So those were the roles which I was talking about. Also, as part of the tenant portal experience, we have an admin portal and we have a tenant portal. For the tenant portal also, what a tenant will be able to view, that is also controlled by the access control. So there are some tenant roles also. There could be a tenant financial admin who will only be able to see the invoices, and the others could be able to just use the licenses and so on. So those roles are also present. We have both administrator roles and we have tenant roles also.
Okay, Palani, thank you. We do have another question. If we switch the view via the portal for a client, will that show their sales price only, or will it show our buy and profitability?
They will show only the sales price, obviously. In fact, we have a three-level hierarchy, right? As a service provider, you will be able to see all three prices. You will know your price, your reseller's price, and your end customer's price. A reseller will know his price and his end customer's price. A end customer will only know their price. So we are very careful to make sure that all of these levels are separate. The one very effective thing we have is you can actually compare these prices. You being the service provider, you can see what is the price at which you are selling a service, and what is your reseller's price, and what is your end user's price, all in one view in a table like format. So you will see that okay, it goes to the end customer in this price. Maybe I might want to change my price a little bit. So that control is there. That's a good question. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Palani, you can continue.
Thank you, Ranjani.
Thank you.
Yugan, would you be able to share your screen into this? Prashant, can you make Yugan a presenter, please? Okay. While he is bringing his screen up, let me just touch base on another topic that I had. So, we were talking about the integrations, right? So, what, Yugan, are you ready? Yeah, I can
Yes,
see your
Pan,
screen.
I'm ready.
Yeah, thank you, Yugan. So, when it comes to the reporting, mostly what we will have is we will have tools which give you like some standard set of reports. This is your monthly invoice. This is the total number of items that you have sold in a particular month, and so on. That is how reporting and analytics usually work. We want to go one step above that. This is not reporting. We call these as business intelligence dashboards and reporting. This gives you some really smart analytics, which will give you a lot of value in the long term. So what we have is we have your meters and rate cards, and we have all the data which comes from Microsoft on how much has been used by whom. And our system, it combines everything and it makes it into a flat data source actually. So you have one data source, and from the data source you can generate so many number of views in which you can get a lot of real insights. So what we have on screen here, you can see that we have this cost by service type, and it is something you can drill down into. If you click any of the one of the bar charts into that, you will be able to see in that service type what are the products, which of those products got how much view. So you will be getting a lot of intuitive drill down reports in this business intelligence dashboard, and we give you like a set of 10 reports which are very useful for customers as a standard built-in functionality. It comes into your out of the box, and we also have this workshop which is like a business intelligence report and dashboard workshop, where we explain the data to you, and you being in possession of all the data, you should be able to get a lot more value out of it. And pretty much all of our paid customers, they invest the time, they have their teams, they have their managements come over, they understand all of the data, and they build their own custom dashboards and reports. So we expose all of the data that is there in our system. We give that as a data source to you. We give you a tool in which you can use all of the data to bring up a lot of these analytics. um, so can you just go into the editor view and show them how they can maybe change a chart or any operation. And
Sure.
this edit is something that only an administrator can do. We have restricted it to the tenant user. Tenants will be able to view the reports and dashboards, but only an administrator will be able to uh, create and edit these things.
Sure. Just- I'll
Can you
move
change
this.
that to a pie chart or something?
Sure.
Yeah. Can you show the data source view where we have this list of data sources, and can you just zoom in a little bit on the text so that it's clear?
These are the data sources.
Yeah. So these are various data sources, and for the service provider or for the reseller or for end customer, each of you will have like unique needs for what you want to see. Essentially, a margin is going to be something everyone is interested in. What product got sold, how much, which licenses are used a lot, which is being profitable, who is your most important customer, which customer is downgrading what they purchased, which customer is purchasing more, where your attention needs to be. You could have a lot of questions that your data could answer for you. And by just picking the right data source and by building the right dashboard, you will be able to get the right content. Actually, we do this workshop for our paid customers. Uh, this instance for the participants of this webinar, if you're going to sign up for a trial, we have one workshop coming up actually. So that is something which will be useful for what are the inferences which you can gain out of the data which you already have in the system. So we have actually put together a package of uh, offers that you get when you sign up for our product today. One of those things is that business intelligence dashboard workshop, which you will be able to make use of. So that is one thing that I wanted to say. We had few of you asking us about some customer feedback, whether how any user which who are using our product already, what do they say about our product. So we just wanted to share a short clip about that testimonial. Let me present my screen.
Do you want to, Palli, do you want to talk about who this customer is?
Yes, I'm just
Maybe
enabling the
I'm maybe
audio.
yeah, sure.
Or
Maybe I
you
can.
can give them. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
sure. Thanks, Praveen. All
Go
right.
ahead.
Um, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sure the audiences has learned a lot from you. Um, and they have some questions for you as well. But before, yeah, as you said, before we move on to the Q&A session, just for their benefit, we can share this short clip of the recent success story of one of our customers, Axion's Netherlands. They are it's a subsidiary of Axions, a global brand information and communication technology solution services that uses Hybr for its Microsoft CSP reseller business. Yeah, Praveen, you can play the video if you can.
Basically resell the tier one to other business units that would then sell it to customers. So
Maybe can you increase the volume, Praveen?
another problem that we had was the ability for the software company to keep up with the ever-changing conditions of Microsoft CSP. Microsoft is constantly evolving it, whether it's new services such as perpetual licenses that came out, or whether it's just an ability to keep up with the continuing changing pace of Microsoft's way of billing things, such as moving over to the NCE, so the new commerce experience and stuff like that. We've had many problems with them. It was only once we settled with Hybr with Cloud Assert that we were able to work together to iron out all those kinks and keep that fast pace of development going, which means we're able to deliver everything that the CSP has to offer in a reseller environment towards the business units and ultimately towards customers. So it's getting the right tool was the most important thing, and that was having. I'd say that the main thing about Cloud Assert, beyond even the broad range of abilities within the tooling, which is very broad for what it does. It has much more levels to it even than most people would suspect when they start. And a lot of the features that Hybr has, you don't suspect that you'd even want it until you're already using it. But next to that, it's more the professionality of the club, from the salespeople through to when we're onboarding, and the club that we work with, which were attached to us for the entire onboarding and development stage, very quick to develop, and also since that point, it's not that we're just onboarded now and then it's over and done with, but even continuing further from that, that we've had very good support, very intimate support from the company ever since. So any issues that we're coming up against, any problems, it's not, well, your contract signed now, good luck. Every single feature that we've asked for or thing that we've asked for, there's a serious discussion about how we can deliver that, which is, I must say, quite refreshing within the software industry.
That was the feedback we got from Maxians, and as members of Cloud Asset, it makes us really happy to get such feedback from the customer. The thing is, we are the what we have covered in this webinar today. I have tried to touch upon all the aspects that we consider when it comes to CSP billing, but truth be told, we would not even have connected or covered like say 30 to 40% of what our product has to offer. And that is something, it's not a one size fits all kind of scenario at all. It's like uh, any customer comes to us, we speak with them and we try to understand their business first. And we have these literally we have like a 200 app settings where we customize what views are applicable for this customer, what views do they need, and do they combine the CSP business with any other hybrid business. And we set up a very specific environment for their needs, and we give them a trial. That trial itself is going to be like a commitment free, risk free trial. So to be, even if you are using some other product and you are like uh, want to see what options we provide in as a CSP billing, I strongly encourage that to take up this offer, which our sales team will explain today, and come for the trial. It has zero risk for you. Either you will find that there's a product which gives you a completely different experience or so many levers for you to be able to manage your business pretty much with the very minimum kind of manual effort. And we will also learn by talking with more and more people in the industry. Right now, the CSP market, it seems to be booming. We are getting a lot of inquiries and we are doing a lot of onboardings week on week. And so we are really looking forward to hearing from all of you. So I just wanted to wrap up my planned session with that before we can move on to the Q&A session, and then the sales team will present you with the offers of what we have today. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Palani, for the wonderful presentation on Hybr and how it tackles customer billing and self-service challenges for Microsoft CSP Partners. And as you mentioned, yes, that was a really, an amazing feedback from one of our customers. As a team, we must feel, proud to get a statement like that for making such a positive impact on our customers' business. And guess what? And to all the audiences, you can also be a part of this success story by taking advantage of our special offer. Yeah, today we have a special offer for you. Let me share that to you. Guys, can you move to the offer slide? Yeah, thanks, Pranay. Here you go. So today we have a special offer for you all. Book, feel free to book one-on-one meeting with our CSP experts and get limited time free access to the CSP Success Acceleration Bundle, a complimentary add-on for 1 year, which is valued up to $10,000 when you decide to purchase the license of Hybr Reseller Commerce platform for your CSP business. Now, what you get out of it, what the benefits you get out of this complimentary bundled add-ons. The first one is, Hybr Business Intelligence dashboards and reports. What is Hybr Business Intelligence? It's a cloud-based, platform, an essential feature that comes out of the box with Hybr that connects to any data source from cloud services to on-premises using the common cost data format and enables you to create stunning dashboards and reports that aggregate, analyze, and visualize your data in an interactive and engaging way. So basically, you will get the powerful analytics at your fingertips with Hybr Business Intelligence. The second you will get is Hybr Cloud FinOps and Cost Management as Service Model. Hybr Cloud FinOps helps you manage and optimize your cloud cost by applying the FinOps framework, a set of best practices for your cloud financial operations. So with Hybr Cloud FinOps, you can help your customers optimize their overall cloud utilization, not just CSP, Microsoft CSP, but you be also help optimizing their spends on public cloud like Azure, AWS, GCP, and whatnot. And the third item you get as a from the complimentary add-on is you get 10 hours of free Cloud FinOps certified practitioner consulting. Yes, Cloud Asset can bring in its certified Cloud FinOps practitioner as a white labeled consultant to help your team as well as your end customers to optimize their cloud infrastructure and help them to maximize their ROI, return on invest. So basically, you can use us, our experts for your company or provide us a service to your customer as a white labeled service. So our Cloud FinOps certified consultants are at your disposals to impress your customers. So again, this is a very limited time offer and only valid for the first 25 customers who sign up using the link which is given below, in the chat box. You can click that link, book appointment with our experts, and get this attractive complimentary add-ons to elevate your cloud business to the next level. So this is a fantastic opportunity, to get you started with Hybr, the #1 reseller commerce platform for your CSP business.
Thank you, Arun. Next, we are moving on to Q&A session. We do have 2 more questions to be answered. Alani, are you ready?
Yes, Ranjani, go ahead.
Okay. So the first question will be, if we set the pricing for RRP at service level, can we change the price at subscription level for an end user 365 subscriptions?
We support pricing controls at 2 levels. One is it works like one on top of the other. It's not like only a service level price applies. If you set a service level markup and then you override it at a meter level, it will still work. The meter level pricing will also apply. So yes, it is possible to do that, to answer that simply. We are also building in a feature which should be available in the next release, where the certain groups of items, even within a service type, we are building one more level of filter where you can search by the name. Let's say all of the Dynamic 365 want to give a specific markup for a customer, specific markup only for a specific customer for all of Dynamic 365. You should be able to do that in our system. That is also possible.
Okay, thank you, Bharani. The next question is, does the markup applies to RI and savings plan?
Yes, it is possible to configure the marked up pricing for the third instances and Azure Savings Plan also.
So hope we have answered all the questions. Let's wrap up the session.
Ranjan, it seems we have one another question needs to be answered.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Praveen.
Yeah, the question is about the upcoming features in Hybr for Microsoft CSP Partners. So what is the upcoming feature in Hybr?
Okay. We have some exciting features coming up in the pipeline. We already have a good level of auditability and traceability on how all of the costs are calculated, but we want to expose all of that to a user level so that they will be able to trace from the reconciliation file from what line that cost came until how it came to their invoice, what are all the steps that happened along the way. We want to be able to bring that out, and we want to be able to give them a sort of audit feature where they can compare several factors. That is something they can already do to a certain extent using the business intelligence reports, but we want to be able to build them we want to highlight all the anomalies, like, okay, this is not there in last month invoice, this is something that has come up newly, do you want to take a look? So these are the couple of features that I am really excited about, that is in the works, which will be coming up shortly in the upcoming releases. This is just a sample. We release every month at least, sometimes twice a month, and we constantly keep giving future enhancements which makes the lives of our CSP partners better.
Thank you, Bharani.
All right. Thanks everyone for once again for joining this session. We look forward to meeting you all soon and making your Microsoft CSP journey easy with Hybr Reseller Commerce platform. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you soon.
Do sign up with the link which we have shared here, and we are really looking forward to engaging more with you and solving your CSP problems. Thank you. Bye.